Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate the time that you dedicated to me tonight. And today does mark a very special occasion. My special occasion is that I've decided to continue my education and move my life elsewhere outside of Philly. I want to dedicate a good amount of time to a lot of my peers and family that have put me in the position I am today and contribute to the young man I am. So my ultimate goal is to go to Texas and not only pursue education, but I do want to raise my future kids there. Big shout out to my mom. My mother, her name is Jessica, and she has shown me that being a young individual should not hinder your thirst. What I mean by that, as you're growing up in life, you're set a boundary in age and what you could do, whether it's good or bad. You could drive at 16, you can drink at 21, you're set with the limitations. Now, I'm currently 21, and when you become a young adult, a young man, a young woman, you find out that life is kind of yours to grasp. I've been fortunate enough to travel a lot, and my mother has been the sole purpose, and her sole purpose has been to expand my horizons, and I give everything to her when it comes to make sure I become an open-minded individual. My way of thinking, I give it to my mother, and my character, I give it to my father. Despite the saying good people finish last, I'm okay with finishing last. My father has always been a stand-up gentleman, show me not only how to treat women, but how to carry yourself, be a funny, goofy guy. And life shouldn't always be that serious. Of course, there's times that you're supposed to take it to the chest, and you do things accordingly. But you always have a smile on your face and have a gravitating personality and outlook on life, and never allow your downfalls or your upsets or outside contingencies be the reason why you aren't the person you want to be. Me and my family have been through a great lot these past few years. It's almost going on to a decade. And despite the experience, one of the main things he asks me is to never change. Never change who you are and how you treat people. Because no matter how bad the world burns you, you don't have to burn it back. I want to also give another shout out to a younger individual in my life. His name is Ryan. Despite him being younger than me, he has shown me a lot when it comes to a relationship. That's my little guy, man. And I treat him as if like he's like a son. He's basically like my little cousin, and we've gone through like trials and tribulations, whether it is with school, females, like the whole nine, whatever you could think of. And I give a lot to him because he's becoming a young man himself, and it's really fun to watch, and it's sad for me to go, but I'll always keep him dear to my heart. Another individual I cannot leave out, even though it may seem last, it is definitely the best in my opinion, is my little brother. My little brother, even though we have a 7-year age gap, we don't agree time to times, but he has been like the pinnacle of my motivation of being a great young man, because I know in this household I am his role model. The greater I am, the greater he can become, because if I settle for less, I'm showing him that he's allowed to settle for less. As long as I keep striving for new heights and becoming an individual not only higher, better than my parents or better than I can ever imagine, I set the bar high not only for him but for my future generations. Now, even though it is plastered here in my wall, Nazario, I don't have any somebodies in my family. What I mean by that is I don't have any doctors, any lawyers, anyone with true, and education doesn't define who you are, but I can't say there's a person in my family that I truly look up to. Now, my job is to kind of change that, and I think Texas will definitely put me in that direction, not only to leave the city, but to put myself in an uncomfortable position where I want to be. I love the city. It's great weather, great people, and the education system is pretty good. Great taxes. I'd love to buy a house over there one day. But my ultimate goal is to make my last name mean something. Now, not necessarily like a Neil Armstrong, like a man on the moon. I don't necessarily want to be in a history book, and if I do get the opportunity, why not? But I want to make my last name Way. I want it to mean something. Right now, if you say James, James is a very common last name, but the first person you think of is LeBron James. If you say Jordan, you can say Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is one of the greatest players of all time, but his last name holds weight. No matter who it is or how you do it, and I just mentioned, a sports reference is very simple to grasp, but it could be for anything. Rothenbergs. They're a wealthy family. Not only a wealthy family, they've made tremendous impact in what it is the pharmaceutical communities. They own a lot of New York, and when it comes to construction and legal politics, and a last name can mean so much more than just professional sports. It can mean impact. And if the day I die and I rest, my kids can look back and say, they have that same mindset that the Nazario last name can mean something. I'm accomplished, and that's my ultimate goal. I know it's not easy, but I'm happy to be in the position I am in. Once again, I want to thank you guys for giving me the time that you have, and each and every one individual I name, my mother Jessica, my father Mario, my little man Ryan, and then last but not least, my little brother Jaliel. He means a lot to me. I love each and every one of you guys so much, and peace and love.